Hey, my friends, it's Super Sid, the business shaman, and I'm super excited to be here with you all today. Recently, we just got done with our free course on helping life coaches and healers go out there and create a 10K payday. And in today's video, we're specifically going to be going over day 2 of this course, which we call niches that earn the riches. If you don't know who I am, my name is Super Sid, the business shaman, and we help life coaches and healers go out there and create 10K paydays for their business in under 30 days or less. And in this video, what we're going to be talking about with this 10-step system on being able to do exactly that is going to be step number 2, where we are going to be working on specifically who is the group of people that you are looking to serve. There's 3 specific things that we're going to go over in this video today, and that's going to be the 3 core markets. We're going to go over what are the markets that we're looking to serve. We're then going to start talking about, the niches inside those markets. How do you find the niche? How do you go out there and find a niche that you're looking to serve? And then and then we're going to go over specifically how you can, I'm going to take you through a step-by-step exercise on how you can go out there and find the perfect niche for you to be able to make your offers to right now. And last and certainly not least, we're going to go over your perfect client avatar. A lot of people talk about building out a perfect client avatar, but I'm actually going to walk you through step by step, question by question, and make sure that you have a perfect client avatar ready to go right after this video so that you can go out there and know specifically who you're going to serve. Without any further ado, let's head in to this video.
We all win when we all win. We all win when we all win.
So we got the mic set, we got the board set. So let me go over exactly what this is, what it does, and exactly how it's going to be able to benefit you. And then what I'm going to want you to do in regards to the what I want you all to do so that you can take advantage, and take action on what we're going to be going over. Now, this course is absolutely free. I'm putting in here the 10 steps that we go over with our clients in regards to going out there and creating what we call a 10K payday. There's 10 steps to this system. Now, understanding that when you go and you work this framework or you do this framework, everything is going to be geared around you making multiple sales, at virtual or live events where we put on our profitable presentations. Now, these virtual live events can be things like workshops, master classes, online summits, or even online challenges. And ultimately, there's going to be a reason or a why you are going to be putting on that specific type of event, around what it is that you're wanting to go out there and help people with. Now, with that, I decided to put together basically the core training here in this group, of exactly what we go over with people at 10K payday, but also beyond, what we go over with people at 10K payday, what we go over with people at our retreats, and what we work with people on at our retreats. These are open workshops. So you can come in here into the Zoom. The information to get into Zoom is on the post as well as in the event. So we can make sure that you can hop on to the Zoom and that you can hang out with us. Now, if you're catching the replay of this, you're obviously not going to be able to hop on with us live. But what I would like you to do is to go down there and let us know that you watched the replay. So here's what we're going to do. First off, if you are live, you're going to get points. You're going to get 3 points if you're live. You're going to get points if you're live and points if you catch the replay. So ultimately, I would need to let you know that you are here so that you caught the live and you caught the replay. That's very, very important. I'm going to be going over why that is in a second. Next thing is I want to make sure that that if you are wanting to create a 10K payday for your business, and you want to take this information that I'm going to give you, this system, this step-by-step that I'm going to give you, and you're like, hey, Sid, I want to talk to you about you helping me, or you and Tiffany helping me, or I want to talk to you about coming to your next event so that you can help me put this together. I would like you to put a 1 down there at the bottom. At the end of the day, making a decision to move forward and taking that first step is what everybody, has to do, me included, me and Tiffany included, So ultimately, making a decision on what you want typically is half the battle. And usually the ones that make that decision early, day 1, are usually the ones that get to that solution a lot faster. And you've seen some of those people that get to that solution here in this group through clients that we've interviewed who came and they learned and discovered this exact process and simply took it and ran with it. People then who had made over 50 sales in under 5 months, over 20 sales in under 1 month, and on and on and on because they follow the system. So we've broken this down into the 10 steps. That means we're going to be going live over the next 10 days. That means we're going to be going live until next Saturday. Yep. Today, tomorrow, I think next Saturday, whatever it is, but 10 straight days that we're going to be going live. During these 10 days, I'm going to be hopping on here for around 15 to 30 minutes. And I'm going to be going over with you all the framework right, in regards to what we're going to be putting together. And I'm going to be giving you all some prompts that you all can ask, right, that you all can either ask if you want to join me here live on Zoom, or you can ask down in the comments below. I will make sure to answer all of those prompts while I'm live. Now, again, I'm not staying live for hours. This is a training. So I'm literally going to be going over with you these specific concepts and going over with you specifically what you can do and put all of this stuff together to start going out there and creating your first or your next 10K payday. All right. So I'm super excited to be here with you. I'm super excited to go over all this stuff. I want to make sure that you can read everything, and it doesn't look like you can. So I'm going to raise you up. Now we should be able to. All right. So just making sure. I see we got a few people on. So again, for the people that are on, right, let's go ahead and let's comment #live at the bottom and let me know that you are live. I got a special gift for you that's going to be involved, the worksheet that you can use, right, to go out there and be able to use, right, what we're going to be going over today. I'm going to be giving you a couple of prompts, and then you'll be able to go out there and start kicking ass with finding your solution. So we're going to start with day one and the first step today. And that first step, after we get some water, y'all hear me talk about this on every video. Always grab water. So again, if you want me and Tiffany to put together your strategy, like I'll walk with you through these 10 steps, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. And we'll put together your plan. If that's something you want to do, just put a 1 down there in the comments. And if you are live, let me know that you're alive by putting a #live in the comments. If you catch the replay, please let me know. I have a special gift for you that's going to be able to help you do what we're going to talk about today at about half the time. Okay, so I want to make sure that I get that over to you, because we all win when we all win. And I'm hoping, and I want to make sure that you all get rewarded for making a choice to win today, because this entire community and all of us involved should be rewarded for getting up. Right? There was other people that didn't get up. We should be rewarded for getting up and going out there and telling our story, rewarded for getting up and going out there and helping others win. So I want to make sure that I'll reward you, and I want to make sure that we are able to work together to help you go out there and make more of an impact. Because when you and everybody else in this group go out there and make more of an impact, that's what happens. The world really does become a better place, not just because it becomes a better place because we're leaving our legacies and we're leaving people doing things that we've been taught that were typically our superpowers, and allowing them to go out there and do those exact same things, usually better than us, meaning that the world is then becoming a better place because your footprint, your handprint, your prints are all over. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what we classify as your solution finder. I came up with some pretty interesting titles to try to do my best to keep you all confused. This one, though, is pretty simple. We're going to be looking for the solution that you want to provide. So ultimately, right, this has to do with a lot of art. And there's no real formula for me to say, hey, right, this is what your superpower is, but I'm going to give you a couple of pointers today, and I'm going to go over with you how you find this, and ultimately, right, the specific ways that you can go out and you can, you can go out there and start a business with this. Okay. So first things first, right, when we look at a solution is typically going to be a framework, a system, right, a process, a step-by-step, whatever it might be, but it's going to be something like that is going to be helping people, right, get to something they want to get to. So if we look at it like this, right, this is life. Okay, that's life. That's life. All of our lives, right? I think I did that right. We'll find out. It's on one of those sides. And I think this is time. I think it's life and time on both sides. So you can look at it both ways. Okay. So when you look at this, right, you're going to look at this is where someone is experiencing times right now where they could start working with you, but they just became qualified. And this here is like where you can get them to. Okay. So example. And I'm not going to use my example. I'm going to use an example of someone who I've worked with in the past in regards to relationships. And some of you all might have heard this example before. It's a great example. But ultimately, right, I had a friend of mine that started working with me, and he was wanting to help divorced couples, right? He was wanting to help, divorced people who had just gotten divorced. And his whole goal was, he was like, I can help, people in relationships, people who just got divorced, but that was like too broad. So I said, okay, let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down into like, what is the specific thing you want to help them with? And he was like, well, I can help them with it, right? And I get that. But in a business, in a for-profit business, right, we're helping people with one solution first, and we're getting people to say yes to that one solution. And then we're usually building stuff around that one solution so that we can support that major solution and carrying its own weight, and also make sure that major solution grows. Now, obviously, I go over exactly how we do that with our clients. I help you build all of these supports that push that major solution. But the first thing we got to build is your major solution, your major offer, right? Which we classify as your core offer. So that's what we're going to be talking about in the next few days. But ultimately, right, like that's the first thing that we want to build. So when we're building your core offer, right, the first thing we need to identify on that core offer is what are you solving? What is the solution that you're providing? What is the thing or the big promise that someone's going to get? But here's the big one. What is the new reality that someone is going to be able to live in after they work with you, right? I think it's so interesting that people look at the world and they're like, well, that's not possible because it's not me. Well, the truth is it is possible because there's somebody else out there doing it who was you or was you in one spot or had the problems that you once have. So just because you can't see the reality that you want doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's existing out there right now. For those of you that don't want to make more money, there's billionaires out there right now making billions with a B of dollars each year in a very ethical way. So it's not that it's not possible. It's that our experiences haven't allowed us to see that reality, right? Maybe you're sitting there and you're wanting to be married, but you can't figure out how to find your soulmate, right? Well, you're sitting there and you're saying, well, maybe I'm a victim and maybe it's just because of me. But the truth is there's tons of people out there, millions of people out there who are happily married, who are in that same position and never thought they'd find somebody. I'm not getting anybody, I'm just making stuff up. But like, you know, on and on and on we go. And then if you want to look at health, right, you could say the same thing. You're overweight, you're not happy with your appearance, whatever it might be. But ultimately, right, so those are just basic things. But I circled around those three core markets that we're going to be going over tomorrow in the niches section. That's really going to, what is one of those things, right? So in this example, we were in the relationships marketplace. And then he's like, well, I can help people with the relationships. All right, let's dial that down. Well, I want to help people who are divorced. Okay, let's dial that down. What do you want to help divorced people do? I want to help divorced people go out there and be able to date again. Awesome. So we came up with something that was bam, right? First date. The first date, he's not helping people go out there and get married, but he's helping people go out there and start the process again of being able to find their soulmate. So when we're going out there, you know, and we're talking to people what we can help them do, we're not talking to them about helping them find their soulmate. We're talking to them about getting to their first date. That's the result we're helping. Date. It's a tangible result we're helping them get to. All right. To qualify, okay? To qualify, they had to be what? You heard me talk. They had to be divorced, right? They had to be divorced. This means my homeboy isn't going to be reaching out to me. I'm happily married. My homeboy isn't going to be reaching out to anybody who's never been married because they don't qualify. He can tell them whatever story he wants, no matter how good he is. They don't need help because they're not divorced. And that right there is going to cut off 95% of people, whatever it is, 50% of people in the market, you know, whatever it is. But that, you know, people, I think a big mistake that people, they don't qualify people. They sell to everybody and they don't know what they're doing. And all of it comes into, they don't know their solution. They don't know when people can start working with them. They don't know the experiences that people are having right now. And the big part of this comes down to the research. And I'm going to go over that right now. Okay. We're here in a second. Next thing we did is we built what's called a framework. Okay. A framework is nothing more than steps, right? If you just got divorced, here's step 1, step 2, and step 3. That's going to help you. And then, you know, to get you to the first date. Some people will call these what we classify these within your framework. These are going to be your pillars. Okay. That's what we would classify these, your pillars. Okay. So ultimately, when we were building this out with my homeboy, right? First one was like, you got to go through a divorce detox, right? So you got to like detox yourself from the divorce and emotionally get away from it, right? And there's an explanation along the way. Next one you would have to do is you would, what was it? Divorce detox. And then this one was the modern dating. What was this one? Oh, yeah. So you would have to basically go through a confidence and self-esteem class because a lot of people would find, right? So he would have this whole process and framework of going and like boosting your confidence, right? So it was like a confidence thing they had to pass. Right. So that was the second thing. So first they had to detox and they kind of had to get themselves back to neutral. Second thing they had to do is they kind of had to get confidence in who they were again and kind of get confidence in loving themselves again. Right. And last thing they had was what was called modern dating. The modern dating system, I think is what it was. And this was basically like helping people who like, you know, basically learn how to go out there and date again for the first time. And then once they understood and went through this system and they started following this system after feeling good about themselves, after divorcing from their, or detoxing from their divorce, after following this framework, many of them got to their first date. Okay. Now, because of that, the result that they wanted when they got in versus where they were when they started, right, is the result they wanted. Now, all we do to tie this around is then we make a promise that if they follow our system, they can do this in X time. Okay. So as we're doing this, right, you're promising a result. That result is a solution you provide. Say it again. You're promising a result they can get. That promise is a solution you provide. We then take this solution and we reverse engineer to where they are qualified. So when is someone qualified with you? When can someone start the journey with you? Right? And then what we do is then we build stepping stones, a framework in helping them get there. Okay. It does, and as you can see here, a divorce detox. No, these are just steps, right? So when you're look now, a lot of people here are going to say, okay, Sid, so that's awesome. So where's my results stem from? Well, we're going to go into a lot more detail about this tomorrow, but the 3 core marketplaces that your solution is going to sit in as a coach or a healer at any capacity, to be honest with you, in any business at any capacity, to be honest, is going to be 3. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. First one is going to be health. Can't spell. That's right. Health. I don't think I can spell it today, but it's cool. Wealth. And then the last one's going to be what we just talked about, was relationships. So like, anyway, so you look at this here and you're going to be like, okay, well, so you look at this here and you're going to be like, well, okay, so the result is going to be the solution. Let me say that again. The result that you are providing is going to be the solution. So what that means is that whatever solution you provide is what you're going to typically be helping them get to. That is an absolutely amazing way to start, right? Keep this simple, 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 simple. Do not get in simple, right? Simple, right? So the next thing we want to do is we typically want to go into the big scenario and we want to write everything out. Okay, so we start wanting to build this framework. So what we'll want to do is I will typically just pull out a T-chart, or not even a T-chart, but I'll just go on like here, and I'll literally just start doing 1, 2, 3, and I'll literally brainstorm it. Okay, so one of the things, there's two of the first things that I would, well, really the 3 things that I would like for you all to do, right, here is when we, we look at all this. Well, first of all, if you're wanting to, you see this process, you go, oh wow, this does make sense. Then, obviously comment 1, I want to be able to help you. I want to get on the phone with you. I want to work with you on these 10 steps and build out a plan for you. Me and Tip both do. Next is, obviously I want you, if you're live, I got a free gift for you. This is going to work you through this whole like finder stuff. It's going to help you do it a lot faster. So if you'd like to just comment live, I'll get you over that free worksheet, as well as, comment, comment replay. I'll do the same thing. So, anyway, so wanted to, ultimately go over this stuff with you. So here's what I want you to do. First things first, like gut feeling, right? Before we go into who we want to help, that's the next step. What is the solution? What kind of coach do you want to be? No, not who yet. What? Okay. Once we figure out what, do we want to be a health coach? What's a relationship coach? Okay, which one of those core markets do we want to fall into? Second step is inside one of those core markets, what's our big promise? Right? We saw from this example here that a first date, or this case study here, technically, this first date, right, fell underneath the relationship market. They had just gotten divorced. They wanted to find love again. So it fell under that relationship marketplace. However, it's not the only thing that does. Relationships, you have relationships with yourself, relationship with your kids, relationship with your parents, relationship with your friends, relationship with yourself because you don't have any friends, like whatever it might be. But ultimately, right, you could take, right, one of those many of different types of relationships, and then you could become one of those experts. But we even took it a bit further, and then we took one of those relationships and we literally built out a program for a very specific time in one of those relationships. This is when one of those relationships ends, they get divorced, and then they take one of those people who got divorced and they help them start dating. By doing this as a coach, you're going to have a lot more happier people in the marketplace, right? And people are going to be more happy. So this is helping more people. Anyone that you all are helping, I think the simplest things, or the biggest problems that people have is they don't think they're an expert in anything. And the truth is those are usually the ones that are like the smartest and have the most expertise, because guess what, right? They're so good at what they do. They think it's so simple. They don't, it's so unconsciously already happening. So here's something I want you all to do as well. So after you figure this stuff out, right? Before we go and brainstorm, because a lot of people are going to get stuck on, well, I don't know what my superpower is. I don't know what it is. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. This is it. This is exactly what I tell people. People who pay me lots of money. This is exactly what I tell them. I want you to go and I want you to pick out your 10 closest people in your life. This could be family. This could be friends, people you know. If it's not 10, then pick 5. If it's not 5, then pick 3. You got 3 people you can reach out to. 10 is ideal. What I want you to do, this is something Tiffany once made me do, and she's done it before as well. I want you to reach out to them and say, just ask them a simple question. Tell them that you love them. Ask them if it's okay if you get their opinion on something, of course. Don't just shove this down their throat. But, just say, hey, I'm working on something. I'm working on my life. And, I'm just really wanting to figure out what I'm good at. And I was hoping that you might be able to let me know, what you believe that I'm best skilled at, or what you see that I'm really good at that you might want me to help teach you someday, and help you become better at it. Now, our goal is that a lot of these people who are closest to you that have spent a lot of time with you is they're going to start telling you the same things. And they're going to start telling you, right, the patterns at which, right, you are following, the things in which you are doing. They're going to start telling you things that you probably do so subconsciously that you've done since you were a kid, that it's so buried in the fact that people are begging to want to learn that skill, that to you, it's just normal. And a lot of times it takes us getting out of our own skin and putting ourselves on, putting ourselves out there to the world and asking the world what they would like to learn from us. Because at the end of the day, there's that one thing that people are all like, man, I wish I could do it like that guy or that gal or that person. We all carry that because we were put here to better the people who were here in this time. I'm a big believer all of us are here for a reason. I know that's cliche and this and that. You can call me what you want. It's fine. But I do believe that all of us, because I have it, and I see others that have it every day. And I'm confident that you have it. And it's just a matter about taking a couple of steps and figuring out what it is, and then going out there and putting some love on some people. That's it. And then once you figure out what it is, you then just start brainstorming, right, after the result. How do I get to this result? A to Z. Step by step. And then you brainstorm that down. Once we got all of that stuff done, then here's what we do. Simply we go into our training tomorrow, which is called the Niches That Earn Riches training. I do have a full training on this. It's around a 90 to 100-minute training. We're not going to be going over that, but I am going to be referencing it and going over the 3 main things. We're also, going to be really going over helping you all in regards to identifying, right? Kind of, I talked about breaking it down. We're really going to be going over how we can do that tomorrow. So I do have a worksheet that goes with this. This worksheet's all around like what we went over. It goes over with you exactly like how you can do this. I am actually going to make an update to it based on that question, because that question is not in there, but it is an important one. I just didn't add it in there, but I am going to add it in there now. So I will get that updated by the end of the week, but I'll go ahead and send you the worksheet that we have. And then once it's updated, I'll make sure that I get you over the updated worksheet in the near future. But regardless, I want you to start working on this stuff. Now, some of you, right, might be just getting started. This is what you need to be doing. Some of you might have been a life coach or a healer for a while, and you're like, one or two things. You're either not happy or you're not making the money that you want so you can go and be free like you want, right? So ultimately, whatever it is, I'm constantly, me and Tiffany, like we're doing this right now. With Tiffany, Tiffany's about to come out with her mom's stuff, completely new market for us, completely new niche. We went through this entire process, right? When I go through all of my offers, we have multiple offers, right? Tiff and I have 4 things going on for 10K payday. All of this stuff went through this process. However, all you all are doing is starting the process for your first thing. And what we want to do is we want to make the first thing, right, a winner. And then once that first thing is a winner, we can then start leveraging the first thing and building things around. Okay. But we got to build something first that is a winner, that people, and what's a winner? That means that someone's saying yes to you, and not just to get help, but to pay you money. Once someone pays you money for this service, that means we got a winner, and we can start going faster on it, and we can start doing more stuff to it and put a lot more effort and support behind it. Okay. But the first thing we got to do is we got to get it to where we have a winner. And that's what I want you all to start on today. So ultimately, just a quick recap. We kept this under 30 minutes today. Yeah. right? But quick recap, remember, first things first, okay? I want you to go out there and pick what kind of coach are you? Health, wealth, or relationship? Just what is it, right? Next thing I want you to do is ultimately, what is the result or big promise that you're going to promise them? If you don't know it, right, write stuff down, right? Or whatever it is. We're not going to have you start, we're not going to have you, do anything crazy with it. We'll be going live tomorrow with the niche stuff. So if you have any questions around that, or you're doing this, I can't figure it out, I'll be live tomorrow for the niche stuff. You can ask me there. Okay. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to ask that question. I want you to reach out to 10 of your closest people. This was not my thing. This was Tiffany. She taught me this. So thank you, Tiffany. We added it to it. It's just not something I've added to the worksheet yet formally, but I'll make sure to do that for you all ASAP. So you all have this question, but I'm going to prompt it here for you again. Now, all you're going to ask them is like, hey, obviously you want to ask permission. You don't just want to shove this question down their throat. After you ask them permission and basically just let them know, hey, I'm looking to better myself. I'm looking to start something new. And I'd like to ask your opinion about me on something. Is that okay? And then they say yes. And then you simply want to ask them, what is something that you see? What is something that when you're hanging around me or that when you're around me, that is something that you would like to learn or something that you see me do well, that you would one day like me to show you? That's all you're asking them, right? Like, what is it that they see that you do awesome? Because a lot of times it's going to be something so insanely simple. You may really think, yeah, I would really like to learn that. Yeah. Like when I talked to Tiffany about wanting to learn time, she looked at me like I was crazy. You didn't learn this in first grade? No, I didn't. I really didn't. I don't know how to deal with time. And so, to most people, time management, super easy. But to Tiffany, like Tiffany was super easy. A lot of people we hang around, me made no sense. No sense. Still doesn't make sense. All right. So again, right, I just want to let you know that like, the simplest things a lot of times will help you get there. Once you ask that question, the last thing that I want you to do is I want you to start brainstorming this piece, the steps. Now I might get asked, how many steps should I have, Sid? Typically, we like to keep your pillars at 3. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't have more steps. I'm going to go over a little bit more of that tomorrow. Like you look at mine, 10 steps to a 10K payday. Technically, though, these sit around 3 major pillars, right? And these 3 pillars are belief, action, and impact. Right. But then when you look at the 10 things we go over, they all fall underneath those pillars.
Are you a life coach or healer who's looking to go out there and create a 10K payday where you go out there and you generate $10,000 for your life coach or healing business in 30 days or less? Well, if that sounds like something you'd like to do, then we have a free course showing you exactly how to do that down here in the description. It's absolutely free and you can go down in the description and grab it right now on demand and log into this on-demand course where you can learn the 10 steps to creating a 10K payday in 30 days or less. Now, don't forget, we all win when we all win. Let's go out there and make a choice to win today. We'll see you in the next video.